does Manny Pacquiao go now?
First of all, I want to fight Barera. I know I can beat him knockout.
He says with all his talk about how he's going to knock me out and all the things he's been saying, he said tell him to get himself prepared well, because after this fight he'll be dreaming of Marco Antonio Barera.
The year is 2003. Manny Pacquiao is on the cusp of becoming a star in the USA.
I had never seen him, and frankly had never heard of him, but I've seen and heard of him now.
But before he finally makes the permanent move to a broader mainstream audience, he needs to prove himself against the two-division champion baby-faced assassin known as Marco Antonio Barera.
You wanted to see executions. You didn't think anybody was going to beat him. Everybody he fought looked like they were about to die.
With 13 title defenses at the super bantamweight division, amidst just a couple of losses and a newfound demolition of the featherweight division with some of his greatest wins, it seems Pacquiao's in against his roughest and toughest opponent yet. Welcome back to Boxing After Dark. Tonight, it's another in a long line of memorable bouts from Pac-Man that we will be witnessing in a battle where, although his fundamentals were in a state of growth and his experience at the top was still relatively green, his mean streak behind his happy smile was at its strongest, and his hunger for greatness was larger than butter beans for knockouts and nourishment. Let's get into it. Manny Pacquiao's record, when viewed in an era where losing your O means you have to go and your promoter washes their hands with you, seems average at 38 wins with 2 losses and a draw.
You come to a fight with Frazier and he loses and you leave with Foreman or something like that? Yes, that's true. That's business.
But while one loss was against a man who was 15-8 and another against the sadly forgotten but underrated champion Mgoan Singarat, these losses are quickly disputed when having their tale told. The first loss was at the age of 17, when the young man shouldn't have been in the ring to begin with.
They told me the required age is 18, but I was only 16. So I lied and told them I was 18 years old. At that time, I weighed 98 pounds, which was 10 pounds under the minimum weight. So in order to make weight, I put heavy objects in my pockets to make me heavier.
And the next was when stepping up to retain his title of champion and realizing levels of boxing that a young man of 20 can't possibly understand. Pacquiao's career was incredible for his age. At 24, he was already a 2-weight world champion and now fighting the experienced Barera for a third, and his influence all over Asia as a small yet lovable fighter helped an entire continent appreciate a sport that hadn't seen much spotlight since Gabriel Elorde over 30 years prior.
Zero crime in the entire country. The rebels, the secessionists, ceasefire. Everybody's in a ceasefire. That's how it is when Manny fights.
Marco Antonio Barera was much like Manny in many ways. A kid who grew up living and breathing boxing, turning professional at 15 and showing potential from the moment he first laced up the gloves.
Many people regard Barera as the equivalent at the same stage of their careers as Julio Cesar Chavez.
But while Pacquiao was just now getting into his prime, Barera was unfortunately in the twilight years of his, having 3 losses to his name.
Time that he deserved, but it's going to be over. The bell ends the round.
Has the referee stopped the fight?
Referee has stopped the fight.
Nobody seems certain of exactly what happened.
The first 2 blunders were against the 2-weight champion Junior Jones, and while his first loss was in a bizarre sequence of events that led to disqualification due to his cornerman entering the ring 1 second before the bell went, the second loss was due to an overall lesser performance from what most were used to when watching Barera. His final loss thus far was against his legendary partner in crime, Erik Morales.
No, yo no lo odio, no más, simplemente que chingue a su madre, así de simple.
But while Barera had his 3 losses, his wins were Hall of Fame worthy and acknowledged as such many years later. From being the only man to defeat Prince Nassim Hamed, to his revenge against Erik Morales and his brutal knockout of Kevin Kelly, Barera was in the prime of his career, with his most remarkable stretch of wins thus far, and one of the best stretch of wins in the world at the time. Barera was out for blood, and if he could open a wound on the new kid on the block, Manny Pacquiao, many were sure that the kill wouldn't be too much further down the line. The night arrived on the 15th of November in 2003. As the youth of Pacquiao glimmers in the ring and Barera's experience shines, it's set in stone that either a new young fighter will become a three-weight world champion and continue his path to becoming an all-time great, or an older champion with an already stacked resume is about to become even more remarkable.
Incidentally, 10,127 in the Alamo Dome for this fight.
Jim, I'd like to point out that
Lawrence Cole's going to call that a knockdown as he motions Barera to a neutral corner and applies the count. And already Barera has knocked Pacquiao down.
I'm not sure that Cole saw that punch land, and I'm not sure that a punch did land.
A heavy punch land. It looked as much like a slip as anything else.
Laid back counter puncher. Surprisingly, Barera is much more aggressive than I expected. In fact, something that Pacquiao was not prepared for.
Barera takes a couple of hard punches right up the middle as Pacquiao lands a 1-2 through the guard. Great action in the first round, back accurately when Pacquiao lands over the top. Now Barera goes with the body, the left hooks. Left hand counter by Barera.
Pacquiao is trying to find a way to get his straight left hand through the center, but he cannot seem to find the target.
It was not a punch.
Definitely not a punch.
Shouldn't have been called a knockdown.
I scored that round 10-9 for Barera.
Barera is right now using the jab very effectively, trying to get his range, and I think Pacquiao is trying to take control. Is this going to be a good fight? Because neither guy is going to accept the other guy controlling the fight.
To get into range to land his jab, and since that time, he's been tactically in control.
4 or 5 of them, 6 in the last 30 seconds.
He never shows emotion in the ring. Big combination by Barera as he catches Pacquiao coming in. Manny comes back with body shots of his own. Hard body shots from Pacquiao. Has come out with a determined rally in round 2. Hard left hand. Straight on the button by Pacquiao. Down goes Barera.
With a beautiful left hand and a quick 1-2 combination, Barera is thrown back to the canvas, and in a brief moment of shock, he gets back to his feet like the warrior he is, and remains cautious of Pacquiao's blink-and-you'll-miss-it speed and deceitful power.
This might be against Marco Antonio Barera. Now they know. And he's getting reckless, and Barera takes advantage. What a fight. Pacquiao is strafing Barera with left hand.
Survived this round, and Pacquiao runs out of gas a few rounds later. Pacquiao's going to be in trouble, but if this stays right here, everything is great for Pacquiao. Just stays right here.
Pacquiao coming right through the right hand counter. Landed another big left hand.
Okay, Jim. 2-1, 28-27. Manny Pacquiao. On Larry's call of the non-knockdown in the first round, if the referee rules it a knockdown, you got to go 10-8.
I know that's the rule, Harold, but I also think we ought to use common sense.
Yeah, but Harold's trying to do it the way the official judges would do it, Larry.
Right.
Which means without the benefit of television replay.
Well, that's where Harold and I
Pacquiao seems to have gotten his rhythm back together again. And Barera seems to just still look a little too slow. Even when he's punching, he doesn't seem to have the speed that he once had.
Barrera's going to have to counter to victory tonight if he's going to be able to win. As he's now definitely trying to stay away and not always able to do it. Now Barera counters back and momentarily stuns Pacquiao with a 1-2.
Very vulnerable for straight left.
Barera getting 3 chances to counter with the left hook, but taking a lot of leather to do it. Barrera's left eye is now starting to swell badly. CompuBox numbers in the 4th round again favored Pacquiao, particularly the 18-7 edge and power connects. Hard right hand by Pacquiao. Barera just trying to stay away.
It's probably a marker sometime. But Pacquiao...
Another hard left hand for Pacquiao, who's getting a chance to target it.
This fight here is perceived as Ali Frazier 1. This is where Julio Cesar Chavez
got it wrong with Pernell Whitaker, right? Those are governing body judges who gave Chavez his draw with Whitaker. Hard left to the body by Pacquiao. Starting to dominate every area of the fight now. Barera gets a hard right hand back. Thinks he's hurt Pacquiao. Chases him down a little bit.
this kid is fighting with so much speed and so much determination.
Gives as good as he takes. Another right hand over the top. But Pacquiao's body punches set up another knockdown, and Lawrence Cole says it's not a knockdown. Their feet must have been tangled up. I'll tell you what, that was a hard left hand, and there's another one like it.
That looks like more of a knockdown, certainly, than the one in the first round.
No question about it.
5 rounds to 1, 58-54, Manny Pacquiao.
Round 7 has Pacquiao's infinite potential on show as he outboxes, outlands, and outmaneuvers the great Marco Antonio Barera before him. While Barera lands decent blows from time to time, the bout has seen him in steady decline as he struggles to keep up with Pac-Man's unmatchable pace.
Pacquiao still determined not to let him take control over this fight. Now the right jab is coming.
Good uppercut by Barera. Left hand counter. Stuns Pacquiao. Barera backs him into the ropes. Now Barera butts Pacquiao intentionally, and you saw it. Referee Lawrence Cole properly warning Barera about that.
Right here you see Pacquiao shooting a straight left, and while he's finishing up here, his head accidentally bangs in. I mean, it is something that was definitely an accident.
It's going to be a slugfest from here on in. Barera understands he can't box for a minute anymore. He's not going to try to box him. He's going to trade.
One punch. And what's interesting, there's another bad headbutt. But Pacquiao came back so fast that the referee didn't get a chance to really see it.
Pacquiao throwing many more punches as he hammers away at Barera.
Pacquiao could be emerging in this fight as the second exciting fighter to come on the scene this year following Mayorga.
Hard left hand by Barera. Hard right hand by Barera. Uppercut landed. He is Barrera's promoter, so the look of concern has to do with the jeopardy in which Barera finds himself.
He's finding out what being a promoter is like.
Pacquiao giving Barera momentary breathing space.
Right now, he cannot time the rhythm and the movement of Pacquiao. The punches.
Pacquiao lands a left hand. Barera counters back with a left and a right. Big punches from Pacquiao, and again the power deficit shows.
I can safely coast to losing a decision. I can gamble and let it all go out for a knockout. He can't handle the speed of the movement of this guy, so in that case you just have to go for your power.
Doesn't seem to want to slow down at all. And now Dickie Cole is going to warn Manny Pacquiao.
-1, -1.
Well, I think it was a quick little headbutt, and it was out of his frustration.
-40 wouldn't hurt him. He can't win a decision. Big left hand again by Pacquiao. Barera having trouble seeing out of his left eye.
But I agree with you. I don't know if Barera wants to fight him again.
I'm not sure what was the strategy for the rematch. Mugging him and about to leave him in the gutter.
Manny, it's too late for the body right now. Let's go to the head.
Now,
all right?
He's urging Pacquiao to go for it. He doesn't want to leave anything to chance.
He's not coasting. He's not lighting it up back when they make that move. If you slow down, you'll lose the fight often.
In fact, my question is, as great as Barera is, should his corner keep sending him out to take this kind of punishment?
One of the highest regarded fighters in the world. One of the most entertaining fighters in the world. One of the most complete fighters in the world.
You're hitting the belly and he
Second official knockdown of the fight for Pacquiao. He's right on top of Barera.
In that occasion.
But officially should have been a knockdown.
But he's taken a lot of left hands. I wouldn't send him out for the 12th round, Manny. There's no way a great fighter should have to go through 3 more minutes of this.
No, because Pacquiao is not backing off. If you had a guy that was
He's getting hurt. Here comes Barrera's corner. Barrera's corner man is up on the apron. He's going to step into the ring. That's a good decision. Finally. They could have done that 2 rounds ago.
Very impressive.
A superstar emerges in San Antonio.
The winner and new featherweight champion of the world, Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao.
Pacquiao has achieved his most remarkable win thus far, and his popularity in boxing has now gone from a fighter to watch out for to a fighter that should be feared, spectated, and admired by all boxers and boxing fans alike. Pacquiao's career would only get better from this night onwards, with his next bout being the first of 4 iconic battles with Juan Manuel Marquez, and across the next few years annihilating legends like De La Hoya, Ricky Hatton, and Eric Morales in an exciting, accessible fashion that found many people from around the world tuning in, whether they were boxing fans or not.
He was just pummeling on me, just in the corner, just hitting me, and I was just wishing just land that one perfect punch just to end it all.
Pacquiao would eventually achieve something that may never again be done. In 2010, after becoming the only ever 8-division world champion in the history of pugilism, with an emphatic victory over the crafty, crazy Antonio Margarito.
The night of the fight, I was 148 pounds, and Margarito 165 pounds. When the WBC, the commission asked me, "Are you going to defend your title?" No, never mind, give it to them.
His accomplishments in the sport of boxing, when reeled off, would create a list further than the eye can see. But what's undeniable is his incredible work ethic, victories inside and outside the ring, and legacy. And for that, boxing and humanity as a whole have gained a modern-day hero to look up to.